So my reading today is from The Soul of Money by Lynne Twist, Transforming Your Relationship with Money and Life. And so in this section she's written of scarcity, the great lie. She writes, no matter what our circumstances, when we believe there is not enough, that resources are scarce, then we accept that some will have what they need and some will not. We rationalize that someone is destined to end up with the short end of the stick. When we believe that more is better and equate having more with being more smart or more able, then people on the short end of that resource stick are assumed to be less smart, less able, less valuable as human beings. We feel we have permission to discount them. When we believe that that's just the way things are, then we assume a posture of helplessness. We believe that a problem is unsolvable. We accept that in our human family, neither the resource-rich members nor the resource-poor members have enough money, enough food, or enough intelligence or resourcefulness to generate lasting solutions. She goes on to speak about the Hunger Project. But this morning's beautifulness of the reading was actually in the opposite, her take on sufficiency, reclaiming the power of what is there. We each have a choice in any setting to step back and let go of the mindset of scarcity. Once we let go of scarcity, we discover a surprising truth of sufficiency. Sufficiency isn't 2 steps up from poverty or 1 step short of abundance. Sufficiency isn't an amount at all. It is an experience, a context we generate, a declaration, a knowing that there is enough, that we are enough. Sufficiency resides inside each of us, and we call it forward. It is a consciousness, an attention, an intentional choosing of the way we think about our circumstances. In our relationship with money, it is a using money in a way that expresses our integrity, using it in a way that expresses value rather than determines value. Sufficiency is not a message about simplicity or about cutting back or lowering expectations. Sufficiency doesn't mean we shouldn't strive or aspire. Sufficiency is an act of generating, distinguishing, making known to ourselves the power and the presence of our existing resources and our inner resources. Sufficiency is a context we bring forth from within that reminds us that if we look around us and within ourselves, we will find what we need. There is always enough. When we live in the context of sufficiency, we find a natural freedom and integrity. We engage in life from a sense of our own wholeness rather than a desperate longing to be complete. We feel naturally called to share the resources that flow through our lives, our time, our money, our wisdom, our energy, at whatever level these resources flow, to serve our highest commitments. In the context of sufficiency and the flow of resources to and through and from us, our soul and money interests merge to create a rich, satisfying and meaningful life. And so just to take you into this rich and satisfying and meaningful life, we're going to move to the richness of this moment and out to the beauty from this balcony, from the sunrise this morning to the quiet time of contemplative reading, of peace and presence. She continues, sufficiency is the truth. Sufficiency can be a place to stand, a context that generates a completely new relationship with life, with money, and with everything that money can buy. I suggest there is enough in nature, in human nature, and in the relationships we share with one another to have a prosperous, fulfilling life, no matter who you are and where you are in the spectrum of resources. I suggest that if you are willing to let go of the chase to acquire or accumulate always more, and let go of that way of perceiving the world, then you can take all that energy and attention and invest it in what you have. When you do that, you will find unimagined treasures and a wealth of surprising and even stunning depth and diversity. Living from sufficiency, thinking from there, and generating that frame of reference for life is enormously powerful and important for our time. In our relationship with money, we can continue to earn, save, invest, and provide for ourselves and for our families. But we reframe the relationship with our new recognition and of an appreciation for what we already have. In that new way of seeing, the flow of resources in our lives, rather than being something that is constantly escaping our grasp or diminishing, instead becomes a flood of nourishment and something we have the privilege of being trustees of for the moment. Our relationship with money ceases to be an expression of fear and becomes an expression of exciting possibility. The context of sufficiency can transform our relationship with money, with ourselves, and with our lives. I am not suggesting there is ample water in the desert or food for the beggars in Bombay. I am saying that even in the presence of genuine scarcity of external resources, the desire and capacity for self-sufficiency are innate and enough to meet the challenges we face. It is precisely when we turn our attention to these inner resources, in fact, only when we do that, that we can begin to see more clearly the sufficiency in us and available to us, and we can begin to generate effective, sustainable responses to whatever limitations of resources confront us. When we let go of the chase for more and can consciously examine and experience the resources we already have, we discover our resources are deeper than we knew or imagined. In the nourishment of our attention, our asset expands and grows. This is especially true in our relationship with money and the power of soulful commitment to expand and enhance our wealth. It is especially true when we look at the struggles around money that weigh us down and the profound release we experience when we align money and soul, the soul of money. The struggle for sufficiency has nothing to do with the amount of money you have. It is all about the relationship you have with the money. Some of the greatest lessons I've learned about the struggle for sufficiency have come from people who have more money in the moment than most of us will see in a lifetime, yet they are living lives they find less than wholly satisfied. Overwhelmed by excess or crushed in the rush for more, the nourishing experience of sufficiency and enough is lost.